Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania review and results. Your official review and results for your April 9th, 2018 edition of Monday Night Raw. And we saw a lot of NXT call-ups here tonight. We saw a lot of debuts here tonight, which would I guess you can call NXT call-ups, and we saw a lot of returns here tonight. Some welcome, aka Samoa Joe, some not, aka Bobby Lashley. But you know, what are you gonna do about it? There's a lot of things to discuss, and for that very reason, let's go straight into it. What did I think about this Monday Night Raw here tonight? Honestly, when you're talking about the spectrums of watching Raws after WrestleMania, the only thing that elevated this show to the excitement level that it was at was one, the crowd, and two, all the debuts and the returns. Because besides that, this show, anytime that you weren't seeing something radical being chanted by the crowd, or anytime that you weren't seeing somebody debuting or returning on this show felt like any other Monday Night Raw. It felt flat, it felt mediocre, it felt lazy, it felt garbage. And that's the very reason why, besides everything that you'd expect to see on a Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, this was not a good show. This was not a good show whatsoever, and that just goes to show you, if WWE can't even put on a good show with the amount of talent that was on deck for this show here tonight, then you're in big trouble. You are in big trouble. I mean, you look at WrestleMania last night, and they couldn't necessarily put on a good show despite the amazing card that they had for that show. My personal belief is that it was sabotaged by Vince McMahon to make Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar this amazing main event compared to everything else, and it still sucked. But a WrestleMania 34 review and results video is on the channel right now, so make sure to go check it out. WrestleMania 34, reviewed it last night, doing well on the channel. Make sure to go check that WrestleMania review out. Make sure to give it some love, comment, like, watch for as long as you must, because we want to get that WrestleMania review to the top of the spectrum. Great stuff there. I was up until like God knows how long waiting for that review to render. It did not get uploaded until the morning. I was super pissed off by that. It would have done a lot better if I would have uploaded it last night when the craze, everybody was looking for the reviews. But of course, that did not go down as I planned. But the WrestleMania review is doing well regardless, so make sure to go check out the WrestleMania 34 review. It is on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel right now. You all know that I was not a big fan of WrestleMania 34, but what are you going to do about that? It's now past us at this point, and I'm completely over that show. I just want to erase it from my mind. So make sure to go check out the review, because clearly it has big implications on what we saw tonight. And let's get right back to talking about Monday Night Raw. We saw a lot of stuff on Monday Night Raw here tonight. One of those things you're looking on at the screen right now, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a hilarious line from Kurt Angle mentioning TNA. We're going to talk about all that. The debut of Ember Moon. Yes, I love it right there. I loved that. You betcha that I loved that. Ember Moon is now on Monday Night Raw. Probably one of my favorite women on the entirety of the WWE roster. We saw Roman Reigns. He spewed a bunch of bullshit. We did not get a heel turn, but what we did get was the return of Samoa Joe. Yes, you know, Samoa Joe, I really forgot how great he was. Seeing him on Monday Night Raw each and every single week is going to be the best part of Monday Night Raw each and every single week once again. Thank God for that. Braun Strowman relinquished the Raw Tag Team titles along with Nicholas over there, because Nicholas' schedule, his 4th grade schedule, was going to interfere with defending those tag team championships. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. That started a tag team tournament here tonight on Monday Night Raw, or whatever the hell you want to call the tag team eliminator is what they were calling it here tonight. I have no idea what the hell that was. We're going to talk about that. We saw the debut of No Way Jose, who on Monday Night Raw is doomed to fail within what? 4 months? Or a month, I give it? A month? 4 weeks? 3 weeks? 2 weeks? How long will it take before No Way Jose is teaming with Titus Worldwide? I do not give it a month before you see that happen on Monday Night Raw, but that is besides the point. Bobby Lashley showed up here on Monday Night Raw. WWE chose the absolute worst spot for Bobby Lashley to appear. They had him interrupt Elias, who was getting a massive ovation on Monday Night Raw. That just goes to show you how out of tune WWE is with the crowd, that they sent Bobby Lashley out there against somebody who was over as all hell. That just shows you how out of tune they are. Jeff Hardy made his return here tonight on Monday Night Raw. We saw the debut of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the Woken Tag Team, whatever the hell they're going to be called, here on Monday Night Raw in tag team action. A lot of things went down, but the show ultimately did not deliver. It was 3 hours of bullcrap once again here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And what are you going to do about that? You can already tell that I am absolutely just tired of all the WrestleMania garbage. I need like a week, 2 weeks off from watching Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live. At this point, I am absolutely fatigued at watching all this garbage. Hopefully Smackdown Live will be better tomorrow night. Hopefully we will see the debut of El Idolo Andrade Cien Almas on Monday Night Raw, or on Smackdown Live tomorrow night. That's what I want to see. But speaking of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, Superstar Shakeup coming next week. Honestly, this is bullshit. They're going to do what they're calling a 2-day event with the Superstar Shakeup, where the Superstars once again are just going to show up on either brand. Give it some presentation, damn it. Let's see the goddamn trades going on between Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon and Daniel, or whoever the hell the authority figures are for SmackDown. I don't even know at this point. I have no idea at this point who the authority figures are for SmackDown. SmackDown should be an exciting show tomorrow. We're going to find out who the authority figures are. We're going to get some debuts of people like Andrade Cien Almas. Sanity may debut tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. Maybe we'll get some returns on their front as well. I mean, things are looking good on there. We're going to get the continuation of all those storylines. I don't know. I do not know. There was no Asuka here tonight on Monday Night Raw. I was under the assumption that she would go back to being part of the Monday Night Raw roster. Maybe she'll join SmackDown Live next week in the Superstar Shakeup. What do you know? What do you know? Maybe she'll be on SmackDown Live tomorrow night. This is all just speculation. I'm going to give you some speculation as far as who I think should go on the Superstar Shakeup, who should go to which brand, as we talk about everything here tonight on Monday Night Raw, because we know both of those rosters need shakeups. I'm absolutely tired of the current stands that these rosters are in. We've seen these matches time and time again. I think within 2 weeks of last year's Superstar Shakeups, we were already seeing the same matches over and over again. I'm absolutely tired of it. And I mean, most of the reason why this show didn't deliver is because most of what we saw here tonight were like tag team matches. We saw like 2 singles matches. And there were like a good 8 matches on this show. And they were like all tag team matches. The main event was a 6-man tag. How am I supposed to get excited about that? And the show just ended with Jeff Hardy and Finn Balor and Seth Rollins just hitting extra finishing moves on the Miztourage. Like, how am I supposed to get excited about that? I'm not. I'm absolutely not. The rosters need to be shaken up. we need to see some new things on this show, and the storylines need to be refreshed, because what it seems like we're getting going into Backlash, which is absolute garbage, is the same goddamn WrestleMania rematches. Last year, I don't know how, but they refrained from doing that coming straight out of WrestleMania. They actually refreshed the feuds somewhat. Somewhat they refreshed the feuds before we went in, or after we went out of WrestleMania. This year, it seems like they just want to do the same garbage. It's The Miz, it's Finn Balor, and it's Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. It's still Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for the Women's Championship. It's still Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Hell, Ronda Rousey broke Stephanie McMahon's arm again here tonight. What's the reasoning behind that? Why wouldn't she officially declare herself a member of the women's division here tonight, instead of all this special treatment garbage that she's been in as of late with Stephanie McMahon and the big bad boss? I don't get it. I do not get it. So everything seems to have remained the same coming out of WrestleMania, and I don't like that. What the hell happened at this show yesterday? Well, after watching this show here tonight, I'd have the impression that nothing went down. I would realistically have that impression. But that is besides the point. We're gonna go on talking, if I can speak here, about everything that happened on this show in further detail. But of course, before we go into that, I just want to make sure to tell you guys to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And of course, the reason that I say that is because there is so much other content for you guys to go check out. Just like I mentioned, the WrestleMania 34 review is up and running on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to go check it out, as well as to go check out your review to NXT TakeOver New Orleans. You want your true WrestleMania show, one of the best, if not the best takeover of all time, is what we witnessed this past Saturday. It was NXT TakeOver New Orleans, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Oh my god. NXT North American ladder match. Oh my god. Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas. Oh my god, it was all amazing. Go check it out, all encapsulated in a review. My thoughts. Make sure to go check it out on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, as well as all the other content that we uploaded, because there was a lot for the WrestleMania week. Preview and predictions to WrestleMania, if you want to see my thoughts going into that show. Preview and predictions to NXT TakeOver. You got what else? You got WWE 2K18 Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles Simulation, if you actually want to see how that matchup should have been. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for last week. If you missed those shows, you want an educated opinion on those shows or both of those things, make sure to go check that out as well. And of course, make sure to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here. Make sure to comment what you thought of Monday Night Raw here tonight. I personally didn't think it was that good a show, but maybe you had a different opinion. That's fine. I'm not going to judge you for that. Tell me in the comment section below your different opinion, or your same opinion if you agree with me, and of course tell me why, because of course I want to engage in conversations. I want to see what your mind process is, just to level my mind process out as well. So make sure to leave that in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. I cannot stress this enough. If you have not subscribed yet, I do not know what you are waiting for. Everything regarding the WWE right here on Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. You're hearing it right now. Your Monday Night Raw review. You heard it last night. Your WrestleMania review. You heard it on Saturday. Your NXT TakeOver New Orleans review. Everything regarding the WWE. Behind the Mic is returning this Saturday. I was sick last Saturday. NXT cured me and rose me from the ashes, but I was sick last Saturday, so Behind the Mic did not get uploaded, but here it is returning. That's where we cover all the news and rumors. We're doing Superstar Shakeup video probably later this week on a Wednesday or Thursday, and of course your Smackdown live review is coming tomorrow, so you got it all right here on Ringside Wrestling. No better time to subscribe than now. We're coming out of WrestleMania. It's some big stuff, so make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because for now we're going straight into your Monday Night Raw review. And Monday Night Raw started off here tonight with Stephanie McMahon, who had a complete change of heart here tonight on Monday Night Raw. She came out and she was praising Ronda Rousey, who last night or just 1 week ago, you would have heard a completely different story from Stephanie McMahon. And to say the least, she got what was coming to her, and the crowd, being that this was the start of the show, definitely reacted to what we seen between Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey here tonight. Here it is, Ronda Rousey put Stephanie McMahon in an armbar here tonight on Monday Night Raw.
You know, you might be saying you tapped out, but you have to admit, last night at WrestleMania, you were surprised. You were surprised. I mean, when you think about the performance of one woman in particular, there was a lot of speculation. Could she do it? Could she make that transition, right? And by God, I did make that transition. I was amazing, and I do deserve your accolades. Thank you. Thank you for your accolades. I deserve them. Thank you. Because I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew if I challenged Ronda Rousey in my world that I could bring out the best in her, that I could show the world what she was really made of. And that's exactly what I did last night. And I deserve that pat on the back, so thank you. But without further ado, I know that you want me to bring her out here right now. I couldn't be more proud of this woman and what she accomplished last night. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE's newest superstar, Rowdy Ronda Rousey! Ronda, last night, you made me tap out. The better woman won. I got beat by the best in the world, and I certainly don't feel bad about that. And Ronda, you know, as a WWE superstar under contract to me, that there's nowhere we can't go. I mean, with your talent and my spotlight, man, we can blaze new trails that the world has never seen before. We can do it together. We really can. I can put the entire WWE machine behind you. All of that muscle, all of that reach, all of these people. If with me in your corner, they will all support our message. So I think that I would just have to say one more thing. Give it up for my friend, WWE's Rowdy Ronda Rousey!
So at this point, they shake hands and Ronda hugs Stephanie. She can't break the smile off of her face. Cannot, due to the reaction of the crowd. But she finally changes her facial expression and grabs Stephanie, and she turns into Killer Ronda and once again snaps Stephanie's arm in half. So that was pretty much what happened in the segment right there. It was pretty entertaining, and the only reason this segment was entertaining is because while Stephanie McMahon was talking, the crowd was chanting, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck!" It was absolutely hilarious when they were doing that. They were chanting, "You tapped out," and for that reason, WWE clearly edited that out of the goddamn segment. And it absolutely pissed me off because as soon as this segment was over, they had to drop this line of, "The crowd is crazy here tonight. They're always crazy the night after WrestleMania." And it came out of the mouth of Corey Graves. They had to. The fans boo who they normally cheer and cheer who they normally boo. That's how crazy these fans are on the Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah, because the fans usually boo Ronda Rousey and cheer Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, because the fans usually boo somebody like Finn Balor and they cheer somebody like The Miz. None of that happened to you tonight. None of that happened to you tonight. You've got to be kidding me with these bullshit lines that are uttered for one reason, and you know the reason for that. It's to protect Roman Reigns, just because WWE has to give you some explanation of why Roman Reigns is getting booed extra on these nights, because you know the boos were coming hard here tonight. It's just this WWE line that they have to drop. It's Bizarro World, because the fans are the realest fans, the loudest fans that you will hear all year, and they're gonna give you the truth. They're gonna tell you right straight to your face what the issue is with what you're doing. Last year, Vince McMahon came out on Monday Night Raw and they started chanting, "Fuck Roman, fuck Roman." And that was more evident than ever that WWE, it's straight in your face. You gotta change your initiative with Roman. He goddamn sucks. This is a failure, which is something that Samoa Joe pointed out so picture perfectly later in the night, and we will go over that segment. And here we are a year later, and we're still in the midst of this Roman initiative. WWE doesn't listen to a single goddamn word, despite the fact that they were yelling in Vince McMahon's face that they did not want any part of this dumbass Roman initiative. But that's besides the point. Back to speaking about this goddamn segment with Ronda Rousey. And yes, they did refer to this crowd as Bizarro World later in the night, because of course they had to, but that is besides the point. Back to speaking about this segment here. The only thing that pissed me off about this segment is that clearly Ronda was not reacting to what Stephanie was saying here. Ronda had this smile that you could not wipe off her goddamn face, because I'll give it to you, what the crowd was chanting was pretty goddamn funny, but still, you gotta be a consummate professional, and you saw her trying to like close her lips, like, you know when you do that thing where you like hold your lips back and you like press them together so you won't laugh. She was trying to do that because you gotta be serious during the segment where Stephanie McMahon is realistically changing her tune and spewing a bunch of bullshit at you. Couldn't wipe it off her face, and Ronda really needs to get over that, bro. She's been out in front of that crowd like 7 or 8 times now. The fact that you are still not over your bullshit, Ronda, and the fact that you're still smiling. You're great in the ring, or you did great in the ring for what you had to do last night, but you can't seem to get the segments right. She didn't even utter a word here tonight. But as far as coming out here and breaking Stephanie's arm, I thought this was unnecessary. This was probably one of the best segments of the night, don't get me wrong, and it was cool, but just the fact that this was continued when realistically tonight we should have had Ronda Rousey maybe establish a connection with Paul Heyman and he's going to be her mouthpiece from now on, when you realistically should have had Ronda Rousey maybe establish herself as a part of this women's division, come out here and say, from now on, I got that bullshit over with Stephanie McMahon, I'm in the women's division to stay. That's what Ronda Rousey should have had come out here and said here tonight. None of that was done here tonight. She just came out and did something, did a spot that we already seen last night at WrestleMania. So I don't understand what the goddamn point was with this, but it was an exciting segment, and it was notably an exciting way to start off the goddamn show here tonight. We go from this of course, to that little blunder from the commentary team, calling this the night that fans cheer who they usually boo and boo who they usually cheer. Bullshit. Anyways, Ember Moon makes her Raw debut. You had this awful segment between Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. It was supposed to be a 1-on-2 handicap match between Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Nia Jax. I'm just barfing right away. And you have Alexa Bliss talking crap about Nia Jax. She says, nobody likes you. You're the real bully. You said you got that championship to prove that you're this inspiration to women. Well, you're a bully yourself. And you don't even have a partner here tonight because nobody likes you. And Nia said, you're wrong about that, Nia, or Alexa. You, or whatever the hell she goddamn said. She says some bullshit about, I'm women's champion. I just need to get that off my chest. You suck, Alexa. And she says, you're wrong about one thing, though. I do have a partner, and it is Ember Moon. I popped hard. I thought she was going to say Asuka, to be quite honest with you. And this was going to be Asuka's first match out after being beaten for the first time, which would have been absolutely terrible if you ask me. I don't know why. I just don't want to see it. But I love the fact that Ember Moon debuted here tonight. This was absolutely fantastic. She's going to do great on Monday Night Raw, one of the best women in the company right now. I just hope that she actually just goes into a feud. I hope she actually goes into a goddamn feud and we don't see this garbage where she's kept off on the sidelines. Like, that's one of the things that realistically suppressed Bayley's momentum. She came up to Monday Night Raw and you had Charlotte and Sasha going on, and Bayley realistically wasn't used. She was brought up in like August, almost September. She was brought up the night after SummerSlam, and she wasn't used realistically until January going into the Royal Rumble. What the hell's that bullshit? What is that? So hopefully Ember Moon does not fall into that position. Ember Moon should be positioned at the forefront of that Raw Women's Division. Right now, she's the best woman you got in that Women's Division. And realistically, what you got to do here is that you got to shake up that Raw Women's Division. Hopefully Ember Moon has entered a much better looking Raw Women's Division by the time next week comes around. It's simple what you need to do with the Raw Women's Division as far as the shakeup goes. I'd switch over Sasha and Bayley with like Becky Lynch and Naomi. That's realistically what I would do right there. Becky Lynch and Naomi for Sasha and Bayley. You switch those two women out and you have them competing in your division. Make that a more competitive division with that. Maybe not even switch Becky. Maybe, I don't know. This is what I would do here. This is what I would do right now. You have Sasha and Bayley go over to SmackDown because God only knows that they are being completely destroyed by the fact that they are on that Raw Women's Division. And I don't know why, but WWE does not decide to push them in favor of pushing Alexa Bliss. So I would move Becky Lynch over to Monday Night Raw, or, I don't want to keep Becky Lynch on SmackDown just so she could have matches with Sasha and Bayley. That would be absolutely fantastic. But who the hell else do you have on your SmackDown Women's Division who's as equal in popularity or as in-ring ability, I guess you can say, as Becky Lynch? You know what? Move Naomi and Natalya over to the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. I would do that. And, I would throw the Riot Squad in there just for good measure. And you move Sasha and Bayley over to SmackDown Live. You have Monday Night Raw, or not even throw the Riot Squad in there. I'm brainstorming out loud right now. But you'd have Monday Night Raw. What I would do is have Carmella cash in her SmackDown Women's, or her Money in the Bank, and have her cash it in on Nia Jax, and have her move over to Monday Night Raw and be women's champion, I guess. Have her be an interim champion. And just refresh that division. You have Ember Moon, you have Alexa Bliss, you have Nia Jax, you have Becky Lynch, maybe, I don't know, whatever they decide to do there. You have definitely Naomi, maybe Natalya, and you're looking good. Meanwhile, SmackDown, Charlotte, Asuka, Becky, or not Becky, or yeah, let's keep Becky. Let's keep Becky, Bayley, Sasha, whoever the hell else you got. Bring up Peyton Royce, bring up Billie Kay. Let's say they keep the Riot Squad there. You got Ruby Riott. That's a division. That is a division, and it's looking good, because I know, God only knows, these women's division needs shakeups, and the Raw women's division's definitely looking a lot better with Ember Moon on there. Hopefully they utilize her better. And then on top of that, in the Raw women's division, you got Ember Moon. Imagine Ember Moon versus Ronda Rousey. That is a matchup I would like to see. There's no doubt about that. But that is besides the point. And imagine the story you can push there. You could have Ember Moon bring up the fact that Ronda Rousey's 4-horsewoman partner over there, Shayna Baszler, got the best of her, but she's not going to let Ronda Rousey do the same. There's a story to be built there. I like that. So Ember Moon, she came up here tonight. She looked impressive in her debut, hit the Eclipse on Alexa Bliss, and actually pinned Alexa Bliss. Hopefully, you know what I would do? I would move Alexa Bliss over to SmackDown just so you could get rid of this garbage Nia Jax. Garbage, bro. I really would, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think Alexa Bliss is going to stay and continue to be this little queen of Monday Night Raw, despite the fact that I am completely over it at this point. Anyways, we move over to a segment where Braun Strowman and Nicholas are handing over the Raw Tag Team Championships. Kurt Angle was backstage on the phone. He's always on the phone with somebody. And Angle says Ember is the spark the Raw Women's Division needs. Hopefully that is true. He says the Superstar Shakeup is next week, but they're getting started early. He teases more surprises later, but finishes his call when Raw Tag Team Champion Braun Strowman walks in. His partner Nicholas, who is son to referee John Cone, is also there. So that's where Nicholas comes from. Braun reveals that they are relinquishing the titles. Braun mentions Nicholas is still in the 4th grade, but as soon as he's done with school, they're coming back for the titles. Nicholas promises someone will get these hands. Alright, I didn't want Braun Strowman in the tag team division anyways, unless it was with Samoa Joe, which you perfectly could have done, because Samoa Joe returns here tonight, but thank God they did this. Later in the night, an eliminator tournament with 2-on-2. I don't even know what the hell Kurt Angle said, to be quite honest with you. It was like, what I heard was that you were going to do like 2 matches here tonight with the 2 winners of those matches facing each other next week. It turned into 4 matches that we're going to see in this eliminator tournament, which you could have done so much better. Realistically, it's going to turn into 4 matches. We only saw 3 of those matches this week. One of those matches was the debut of the Authors of Pain. We're going to talk about this in more detail. But let me get this straight. This is the way this works. There's 4 or 8 teams in this eliminator garbage thing that they're calling, right? There's 4 or 8 teams in it. It's going to be 4 matches because it's 2-on-2, 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 and 2-on-2. So that's 4 matches. We saw 3 of those matches here tonight. I don't know why the hell they would lay it out like that. I'm guessing we'll see the final matchup of, I guess, the first round next week. And we'll see a second round matchup between 2, because they announced it. The 2 winners here tonight of the 2 first round matches were The Revival and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. So those teams are going to face next week. And I'm guessing we're going to see the final 4th round matchup next week on Raw. Or first round matchup. We're going to see the final first round matchup next week on Raw. So the Authors of Pain, who won that 3rd matchup, so they can get their partners for the next week. And then after they win, we're going to see whoever comes out of the matchup next week for the 2nd round. We're going to see them face the Authors of Pain the 2 weeks later from next week. This is so goddamn confusing. It's simple what you needed to do. 4 matches here tonight for the first round of the tournament. Then do 2 matches next week for the 2nd round of the tournament. Then do 3 matches, or 1 match, the next week to determine who will face The Bar, who already has their slot because they were owed a rematch anyways, at the Greatest Royal Rumble where the Raw Tag Team Championship match would go down. Holy hell, that is goddamn complicated. Just do the rounds on the same goddamn weeks. Holy crap, because now the teams of the Revival and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, whoever walks out next week, is 1 week ahead of the position in the tournament that the Authors of Pain are in. Or whoever the hell advances next week from the first round matchup. So holy crap, this is confusing as all hell. You couldn't have done this any simpler. Holy shit. Anyways, moving on here, we see the debut of No Way Jose, and I love No Way Jose. I really, really do. He is very, very entertaining. He went against some loser here, John Skyler. Anyways, he beat him very, very quickly. His entrance was way longer with the Congo line that he usually does. He did it in NXT, does it now. And he beat him with the pop-up punch. So No Way Jose, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be before we see this guy jobbing every single week on Monday Night Raw and in a tag team with Titus Worldwide? Holy crap. I would have put him on Smackdown personally. I think they would have given him more of a shot. But then again, look what Smackdown did with Ty Dillinger. So I have no idea. No Way Jose. It's going to be a wait-and-see situation. I doubt Vince McMahon will do anything with him. And that is very, very unfortunate, to say the least. The Bar approaches Kurt Angle backstage, and they want their titles back since Braun and Nicholas have relinquished them. Angle says there's no way he's giving them back because they lost to a 10-year-old. Angle announces a set of tag team matches called the Tag Team Eliminator to determine who will face the Bar on April 27th in Saudi Arabia for the vacant titles. Holy crap, who cares? This is so complicated for no reason. All you needed to do was an extra tag team matchup here tonight instead of Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose, and you would have been good. But we move on to the first Tag Team Eliminator match. It's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Revival. Thank God the Revival won here tonight. Maybe they'll move on next week. I doubt they'll move on over Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, who are a newly formed tag team. You want to get some wins under their belt. So why the hell would the Revival beat them, who have no momentum under them whatsoever? But I mean, this Tag Team Eliminator, that's what I'm going to refer to it as, because it sounds like a fancy name. Whatever. Anyways, it's a good thing to get them some wins. It's a good thing to get some tag teams who are less notable some wins over some people and have them actually mean something. Because if you're just seeing Luke Gallows versus the Revival, which is something that we have seen for God knows how long now, this is a matchup we've seen like 5 times on Monday Night Raw, hence the need for a superstar shakeup. But the fact that we've seen this matchup so many times, and the fact that there's actually stakes behind it this time actually make this win mean something. So the Revival has a little bit of momentum. They've been given stop and start pushes to the Revival. They get a win here, they lose a win there. 50-50 booking, and it's garbage because the Revival under 50-50 booking is literally in the trash can. But that's besides the point. If there's a team that needs to move over to SmackDown Live, it is the Revival, bro. Move the Revival over to SmackDown Live. I would personally move them for, I don't know, the team of Breezango you can move them for. You can literally move them for anybody. I'd move Breezango. Just any meaningless team on SmackDown Live that you have laying around right now. I'd move them over. Maybe you move Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable for the Revival. I don't know. You move them to Monday Night Raw. Actually get a legitimate team in the way of Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Give the Authors of Pain some competition for when they become tag team champions. I like that idea a lot. I like that idea a hell of a lot. Maybe move Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to SmackDown Live as well. Have them unite with AJ Styles in the future. Ooh, you can do that. Have them move over again for a place of Breezango. So what I would do in form of tag teams is Breezango and the team of Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin for the team of the Revival and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson over to SmackDown. So I think that's a fair trade, and I want to see the trades on WWE television. Do I think WWE will do that? I doubt it, but whatever. The Revival wins here tonight. They get a little bit of momentum under their belts. Seth Rollins hits the ring for a segment with The Miz and Finn Balor. He is the new Intercontinental Champion, and he was very proud of that fact here tonight. But this segment reeked of what we've seen before. If it was not for how hot the crowd got for Seth Rollins, then this segment wouldn't have been nearly as investing or nearly as entertaining, to say the least. Here it was Seth Rollins making his claim as Intercontinental Champion, coming to Monday Night Raw as Intercontinental Champion for the first time here tonight on Monday Night Raw.
After that match last night, I can finally say Seth freaking Rollins is back, baby! You guys are wild, man. You're a bunch of fun. I gotta admit, Grand Slam Rollins kind of has a nice ring to it.
It really, really does. I'll give you that.
Congratulations, man. You deserve it. You know, you were the better man last night. But last night was a triple threat match.
Triple threat match.
There was a winner. There was a loser. And there was this guy. Left wanting more. So I came out here to tell you that I want to be the first person to step up and challenge you for that, the Intercontinental Championship.
You do not deserve it. I do. I made that title the most prestigious and relevant title in all the WWE. He's owed nothing. You lost, you go to the back of the line. Me, I'm owed a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. Actually, no, I didn't forget. I was just waiting for you to bring it up. I was hoping you'd come out here and mention it. If you'd like to invoke your rematch clause, why don't we do it right here, right now? You want me to invoke my rematch clause? You want to see that match right here, right now? No. I am in a custom suit, and I will invoke my rematch clause when I want to invoke my rematch clause. And I would like, excuse me, I would like to invoke my rematch clause at Backlash.
When the hell is Backlash? That's one question that I was asking myself tonight.
When you negotiate from a position of strength. If you guys want a match tonight, the three of us can take on the two of you. Look at this.
Get it. I'm not sure Miz meant right now. Well, Balor and Rollins are ready to fight.
They were chanting Axelmania. And out came Jeff Hardy. So Jeff Hardy returned here tonight. That was pretty exciting. That was really, really exciting. And just the thought of having Jeff Hardy be part of your Monday Night Raw mid-card division, that sounds awesome. Listen to the matches you can have with Seth Rollins as your Intercontinental Champion. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins versus, of course, The Miz. Seth Rollins now versus Jeff Hardy. That all sounds amazing. But again, this is the hardest spot when it comes to picking what are you going to do with this superstar shakeup, really. This is the hardest part, the mid-card. What are you going to do? I personally thought that it would be Seth Rollins, before he won the Intercontinental Championship, who would be moving over to Smackdown Live, and that he would be carrying that because AJ Styles would be moving over to Monday Night Raw. But AJ Styles is still your WWE champion. I don't know how the hell you're going to trade your WWE champion over to Monday Night Raw in exchange for your Universal champion. It's just not going to happen. So AJ Styles is still going to be able to carry SmackDown Live. Not to mention, you have Daniel Bryan as well on SmackDown Live. So what are you going to do as far as the mid-card goes? I would move over Finn Balor. Or maybe you can even move over Jeff Hardy. I was thinking of moving Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt over, but they're already involved in this tag team eliminator garbage. I don't know. Maybe they'll get eliminated next week and then they'll show up on SmackDown Live the next night. I don't know if WWE would even go that far with the revival. Hopefully they goddamn do. I doubt it though. But I'd love to see Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy go over to SmackDown Live because God knows that Bray Wyatt, the height of his career, was on SmackDown Live. I'd love to see that return. And Matt Hardy, they could use the Woken Universe on SmackDown Live because we all know that the Woken Universe is not going to reach its fullest potential on Monday Night Raw. There's no doubt about that. So hopefully, I am begging and pleading that we hopefully see Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt move over to SmackDown Live and be part of their tag team division. That would be great. And I also hope that we see Finn Balor go over to SmackDown Live in exchange for who? I don't know. Maybe you can even do the exchange of the United States and Intercontinental Championship again. Maybe you can move Rollins over to SmackDown, and you can move, of course, Jinder Mahal, who's your United States Champion for some goddamn reason, to Monday Night Raw. Maybe that's what you want to do. I certainly would love to see The Miz move over to SmackDown Live again. Another one who, you know, the peak of Miz's career was on SmackDown Live. So why wouldn't you want to move that entire scene over? So we can possibly see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Who the hell wouldn't want to see that? This is the only opportunity you got to move Miz over. And I know I don't want to see The Miz versus Seth Rollins at Backlash. That sounds awful. So maybe that's what you do. Maybe you move Miz away entirely from the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe that's what we do here. Because I know I don't want to see Miz challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. I'd rather see Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. I'd rather see the Jeff Hardy versus Seth Rollins match than the Miz versus Seth Rollins. And I just searched it up, and Backlash is May 6th. So it's less than a month away. It's like 10 days after the Saudi Arabia event. Holy crap. So I don't know what WWE is going to do here. They've got tricky booking as far as booking these shows goes. But it's going to be an interesting time for the WWE. Hopefully they do the right thing as far as the superstar shakeup goes and the names that they move. I don't want to see any blunders like what they did last year. It did not cause a big impact at all. Within like 2 or 3 weeks, the shows were back to being the same normal garbage that we've seen each and every single week from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, which was very unfortunate because realistically, new talent should be shaking the show up. That was not the case whatsoever. But we move on here as far as what we're talking about on Monday Night Raw. And we moved on here to Mandy Rose versus Sasha Banks. If you think I'm talking about this matchup, you're absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking about the events surrounding the matchup. The result was Sasha Banks got screwed over by Bayley again. I'm absolutely tired of them doing the same crap with Bayley and Sasha Banks. She got screwed over by Bayley. Somehow, I forgot. Bayley accidentally hit Sasha. The referee didn't count it as a disqualification. I think he was being distracted by Absolution. That allowed Mandy Rose to get a kick, and she beat Sasha Banks. She did that on Monday Night Raw. They announced Bayley versus Sasha Banks next week. That's how much WWE cares about Bayley versus Sasha Banks. They're giving it away on Monday Night Raw next week. And speaking of this women's situation with this show going into Saudi Arabia, just goes to show you how great this women's revolution is, bro. Really goes to show you. WWE, they're saying, oh, we're all for the women, we're all for this women's revolution, yet they find it perfectly plausible to promote the hell out of this Saudi Arabia event. They're jacking off for Saudi Arabia, which is a place that absolutely treats women like garbage, and absolutely is keeping these women from competing here tonight. Where's the mention of the women being on this Saudi Arabia event? Where are they on the greatest women's Royal or the greatest Royal Rumble? Nowhere to be found. But WWE, they want to tout women's revolution all over the goddamn place. Well, you yourself are going to an area and having no problem promoting the hell out of a show that women are not accepted in. If you were a true voucher of women's revolution, you would refuse to go to Saudi Arabia because of this women's revolution. You're not. So, you are hypocrites in that regard, WWE. But that is besides the point, because we did get a very heartwarming segment here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and that had to do with Paige's retirement. This was very, very sad. Paige, she took the mic and says that some of us already know this, but some don't. It hurt her to watch the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal from the sidelines because she was born to do this. She lives for this. Paige says she is unable to compete in the ring due to injuries. I've been waiting for this announcement for a long time now. I didn't think they were going to make it at this point, but it's unfortunate. She says this is the hardest thing she's ever had to do. Fans chant, "Thank you, Paige." Paige says she would like to thank every female superstar in the back as she's proud to be a part of this division. She says we have all built this division to be huge, to be something they never thought it would be. She thanks them again. Also, she wants to thank her family because she wouldn't be here without them. And this is the part that I was just like, wow. She thanks Daniel Bryan for returning at WrestleMania and giving her hope. She also thanks WWE Hall of Famer Edge, who she talked to this weekend, and he helped her see that there's more to life than this. As bad as it hurts her, Paige now has to go find something else. Paige thanks WWE for allowing her to entertain all of us for the past 3 years. She recalls debuting in New Orleans 4 years ago to win the Divas title, and 4 years later she's retiring in New Orleans. Paige thanks the fans, and "Thank you, Paige" starts back up, and the fans chant, "This is your house," and Paige thanks them again, and she says she loves them because this will always be her house. Paige leaves the mic, and she leaves the ring. That was very sad. I mean, Paige, she had a lot to offer. I just wish WWE wouldn't have brought her back to this fucking Absolution garbage. Realistically, they could have done a lot better with her for the time that she was going to compete. But again, we've talked about this when the rumors broke out. It's unfortunately true. I wish we were wrong about this as far as the rumors go, but this was inevitable. This was inevitable. She was fighting with a back the shape of a question mark. She talked about it on Lillian Garcia's podcast. She talked about it all over the place. She was not meant to be competing in that ring. This was bound to happen, and it happened. We talked about this when it happened. It's a sad loss, but it's not a death-blowing one. And thankfully, Paige can continue to do something else. And she is young enough where this really isn't going to affect her as far as finding something else goes. That's where she's lucky in this. So, you gotta say thank you, Paige, for this 4 years. I wish it would have been longer because she really could have made an impact with everything going on right now. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I am sad, to say the least, for that. We get a video package, or we see stills from the John Cena Undertaker match. We talked about that in the WrestleMania review. Go check it out. Elias, who got an absolutely monstrous reaction here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Holy crap. She plays some, and he plays some, and says there's no doubt after last night that WWE stands and walks with Elias. Yes, yes, yes. Elias says he has become the musical face of WWE in 1 year, and he calls the crowd scumbags. I found this absolutely amazing because he called the crowd scumbags, and they chanted, "We are scumbags." That was absolutely amazing, to say the least, but this was a great segment. The only thing I disagree with here is that how WWE did not telegraph the fact that Elias would be over as hell. Bobby Lashley came out and attacked Elias, and I mean, I don't really care about the Bobby Lashley return. We'll talk about it further some other time. I really don't care at all. This is going to be underwhelming. We know that they're going to push him up the ass. It's going to be the Lesnar-Reigns show, the Lesnar-Reigns-Lashley show on Monday Night Raw, and I don't want any part of it. This sucks. This sucks, because you know by SummerSlam it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Whether it's for the Universal Championship or not, I don't know, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it for a second. And WWE clearly with their first blunder when it comes to Bobby Lashley, because they already had him come out where he was not warranted against goddamn Elias. So whatever. Anyways, this segment was fantastic. Kurt Angle's backstage talking about the wild night on Raw when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come in looking for a job. Angles mentions how his tag team division is full. It is not full, or at least it wasn't before tonight, before you had the introduction of AOP and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. But that is besides the point. He says the next thing out of his mouth is, I heard TNA is hiring. That was absolutely mind-boggling to me, just hearing the words TNA on WWE television. That line incited holy shit chants. Anyways, Owens and Sami roll their eyes. Owens says he has kids, and he's just looking for an opportunity from one father to another. Sami just wants a shot too. Angle says he has one spot. They can wrestle for it tonight. Holy crap. So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens put on a great matchup. Not before the Authors of Pain. They made their debut here tonight. The Authors of Pain are going to do absolutely fantastic. There's no doubt about that. But after the matchup, the Authors leave, and Ellering walks behind them, but they stop him. This pissed me off. How the hell are you just going to push off Paul Ellering without any story? That sucks. You know Paul Ellering can't travel with the Authors of Pain because the schedule is too busy. So clearly they were going to write him off. Hopefully they get them another manager because you know the Authors of Pain. Maybe they can assemble a faction with Roman Reigns. I don't know. After Roman Reigns goes heel, if that even ever happens. I don't know. But you know the Authors of Pain need a mouthpiece. They're going to do fantastic. They're going to be dominant. They're going to be tag team champions within a short amount of time. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens with the Authors of Pain. Roman Reigns, to say the least, he got booed out of the goddamn building here tonight. Nobody was interested in seeing the Roman Reigns initiative here tonight on Monday Night Raw. He came out and he said the same goddamn thing. The same goddamn thing that he's been saying even after being beaten by Brock Lesnar. I cannot stress this enough. Even after being beaten by Brock Lesnar, this guy is coming out here saying the same goddamn garbage. He came out and said, I cannot stress that Brock Lesnar's not here tonight. I got my ass kicked. Oh, I'm here fighting for you. Are you kidding me? You have this guy come out and say the same goddamn thing. He was about to walk off, and thankfully the savior, Samoa Joe, walked out and he said, Roman, you lost last night. And not only did you lose last night, you got absolutely demolished. And that's after you came out here and talked your mouth off about saying that you would defeat Brock Lesnar. About calling Brock Lesnar a part-time son of a bitch. Well, he destroyed you. Something that he didn't do to Samoa Joe. That's something that should have been mentioned. Anyways, Samoa just said that he is back, and at Backlash, after Roman Reigns once again gets his ass handed to him from Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe will be there to beat the shit out of Roman Reigns too. I love it. Samoa Joe is back. It's going to be one of the best parts of Monday Night Raw. I cannot wait to goddamn see it. Anyways, we move on to Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus Titus Worldwide. This team is going to be something awesome. I don't think they're going to factor into the tournament much more. I think they're going to be moving over to Smackdown Live. We'll talk about them on Smackdown Live more as the days go on. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. This matchup was very, very good. It went into a non-finish here tonight on Monday Night Raw. A non-finish was this matchup. Double count out. Both men couldn't get up before the count of 10. So I'm thinking these guys are going to get hired by Kurt Angle just due to the sheer work that they did in this matchup. They did fight each other, and it was great. Like we've seen between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens a million times before. No surprise there. I've mentioned the main event matchup here tonight on this show. Nothing special. Clearly the baby faces won. Finn Balor, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy looked fantastic coming back from injury, but there's realistically nothing to write home about on that regard. And that was pretty much it here tonight on Monday Night Raw. It was your Monday Night Raw after Mania. It was hard hitting with returns and debuts, but realistically, everything besides that, what we usually see on Monday Night Raw, was flat out garbage. For now, ladies and gentlemen, this is all right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed your Monday Night Raw review for the date of April 9th, 2018, because for now, this has been Joel Perez, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.